Good morning, this is Kathy and this is the pre-market analysis for Wednesday, June 11th. ES is currently testing a bullish PRZ at 1940.5. Ideal minimum retracement is 1946. Failure to get there or a rejection there, that's also going to be, notice how the moving averages, there was a bullish cross, now price is below the blue line, so this is an invalidation of the bullish cross and it's attempting to become a bearish cross. So a bounce up into that region of 1946 is going to be a very important resistance test, right? If it does go through it, I anticipate retracement mode continuation of the bullish Gartley, and ideal target is 1954.75. If price is able to push on through, there are extension targets at 58.50 and 63.50. If price cannot get to the 1946, rejects it, or third scenario just breaks down 1940.50, in other words, there's not enough buyers to even retrace its ideal minimum, then the extended targets come into play at 1932 area and 1925.50. Anything below there is going to have these brown fib targets. Okay, profile wise, price is currently at 1941.75. We are at this neutral zone, right? So there's an attempt to get below this range, this 3-day range. Yesterday was a very balanced range. So this is an important, there's a potential breach of this 1940.75 to tag that gap at 1938.75. But a hold above this yellow zone has a lot of unfinished business down to 1921.75, and the green and yellow zones are areas of interest along with the fibs. So find the correlation and go from there. CL is in retracement mode of two different patterns. One, the bigger pattern, it's a bearish crab. It has not reached its ideal minimum retracement target. That is the 1037 area. So it's been stalling in a sideways range since then, right? Okay, so right now there's a smaller pattern that completed, and it is also in retracement mode, and it's in a shallow retracement. It's retracing inside the golden ratio zone at this time. It's not until price can hold below 104.29 does it increase the probability of reaching this confluence target of the 1037 area. So first things first, what is price doing in relation to this golden ratio zone, 104.48 and 104.29? A hold above it implies a retest of the Gartley, a retest of this bearish crab PRZ, and then if it continues, we have noted targets to the upside. Otherwise, if price is able to test this confluence zone of the 103.70, it's going to be very important how that holds. If that cannot hold, then ideal target is going to be that 103.10, actually 102.7, which is a major magnet, and 103.10 is going to be an area of interest if you look at the volume profile chart. So 103.42, 103.10, and 102.70 are important targets to the downside. It has confluence with the harmonics. There's also a gap there at 102.67, it looks like. Okay, so yesterday was pretty balanced. So far, right now, price is at 104.47. So it's really kind of hovering in between this yellow zone and this green zone. Want to see it break below 103.75 or above 105.08 to get outside of that magnet area. In Q, okay, in Q, a hold below 37.8425 increases the probability of completing the pattern, which has the target of 37.6950, right? Now, currently price is testing a golden ratio zone. I don't have the upper portion, but we can eyeball it and see that it's going to be about like that. So that's going to correlate, the top of this golden ratio zone is going to correlate with the validation of a bearish cross action here, right? So That 37.8850 is an important resistance test if price pushes back above 37.8425, and a hold above there implies a retest of the top of the range. Now we already have a double top there, so a push above there is going to have these extension targets. Otherwise, as long as price holds below this bearish cross scenario, more importantly 37.8425, has the target of 69.50, and if that can't get a good retracement going, then the extended targets, are noted. Forgot that target to be put on there. Okay, so the ideal target is going to be 37.42 and scaling points at these brown fibs and green zones. Now, price is currently at 37.8325. So it's still inside this sideways range, and it's not until it can hold below this yellow zone would it imply that it's trying to move away from this range, right? It could just breach it to tag that gap at 37.7650 or the magnet 75.25, but then what? If it goes up and tests it as resistance, does it hold? If not, it's going to be drawn back to that 3790.75 area.
With